grapevine. Okay, so let me turn, coach. So grapevines are when I bring my legs under his legs and all the way through, and I lock my toes like basically where his shin is. It wraps around like this. Okay. The great thing about grapevines is that it makes it very difficult for him to bridge out of this position. Okay. So let's say coach tried to bridge me out that way. I extend this leg and it kills his grapevine. At the same time, I'm also facing out with my hand. Okay? So if I keep my hands in nice and neat, nice and close, and he bridges, even though I extend it out, he might just get enough to get me to the ground. Okay? So you need your hands as well. So grapevines, absolutely essential. Okay? So one of the things is while I have grapevines, he's going to be trying to fight this. So go ahead, try to fight out. He might get out, but you keep fighting in, and use your both feet to try to get them back in. So it's not going to be a scenario where he escapes and gets his foot to the ground, his legs to the ground, and you're going to be like, oh no, I give up. Obviously, you're going to still keep trying to dig under here and continue getting your grapevines. Okay? Back on the top. For me to get the grapevines, I can't sit straight up like this. The angle doesn't work, so I need to lean over. As I lean over to get my grapevines, I want to put pressure with my hips down. I want to make him really feel this pressure down. When he's here, he shouldn't be having a nice spa day, you know? You want to make it hard for him to breathe. You want to make it hard for him to want to do anything. And when he's in that scenario, he's going to start making mistakes and get out of the situation, okay? Also, if you get good grapevines, you can tap people with just this, you know? Just by extending out, you can put a lot of pressure on their calf, on their knee, things like that, okay? So it can be painful for them. So keep that in mind. Don't do that at my home, okay? All right, so second thing. So I'm grapevining him on the lower half. That's keeping him under control. Top half, my hands are going to be out here so I don't face plant, right? So with my hands here, he's obviously going to try to wrap up and grab one of my arms. As he's doing that, I can't let him contain this arm. So all I have to do is just keep circling it out, you know, as he's trying to grab my arm. Because usually it's going to be paired with him grabbing my arm and a bridge at the same time. So a bridge, I have to be ready to pull that out and get my arms ready to base out, okay? So with that, that's going to give you a good start against someone that doesn't know too much, someone that's a basic jiu-jitsu fighter, all right? At more advanced levels, I feel like you need to start utilizing his elbows now, all right? When you have someone that knows what they're doing. So I need to start exposing his elbows. And in doing so, you're going to make it very difficult, if not impossible, for him to escape, okay? So I'm usually going to start in the same way, and he's going to try to grab my arm, or he's going to try to push my leg. So if he's trying to push my leg, just a quick aside for that. I'm not going to let him just bring his arms here without a fight. I'm going to pull this up, you know, easily. That's the fastest way to just get it out of commission, right? So he's not attacking. So if he drifts his arm down, I just pull it right back up, okay? If he exposes his elbows in doing so, I can catch it and bring my arm through, okay? That's what I'm looking for all the time, is any sort of exposure on his elbows. So where I can catch it is if he tries to wrap my arm, I weave out. Instead of going back, I catch it here. If he tries to bring his arm down, I can pull this up and catch his elbow. Once I catch an elbow, all right, now we're cooking. So let's say I catch this side on the elbow. I want to immediately bring my other side arm under his head and beat it as far as I can, okay? From here, I can even grab his armpits, whatever I need to do. You don't really need to do that, but sometimes I like doing that because it gives me a little bit extra oomph to hold this arm, okay? So the side that I have his elbow, I'm going to start walking it up. Let's keep it a little bit, give me a little bit of resistance. So as I'm walking up, I'm actually physically crawling my hands like a spider up the mat, all right? It gives me that ratchet, is it ratchet? That ratchet effect, right? So I gain something and I hold, I gain something and I hold, okay? I want to expose that elbow. Now, right here, with his arm out like this, with his head under control, and when I mean his head under control, I'm also pushing his face to look that way, okay? I know for certain it's very difficult to bridge somebody the opposite way of the way your face is facing. So if I'm pushing his head that way, it's almost impossible. Not impossible, almost impossible for him to bridge me that way. So I don't really have to worry about that too much. So he can probably only bridge me this way. But with sticking out like this, go ahead and try bridging it. He blocks himself with his own elbow. And I'm still using my grapevine to extend him. So with this right here, that's it, man. He's not getting out now, all right? Like with one hand trap, he's not gonna do anything with that one hand, the other hand there. So if I can get someone to this scenario, which is quite often, you can easily get to someone to here. You pretty much stop them locked in, okay? So go ahead and try bridge, try to escape. Yeah. It's a lost cause, right? You're not going anywhere, okay? So I want you to try to get to that position. How to get there is, that's the key, right? So sometimes you have to give something to get something. So if Jorge is locked up like this, and he refuses to do anything, he refuses to expose his elbows, he refuses to give me anything. Okay, if it's a tournament, I sit here and I'm gonna win, you know, but we don't want to practice that, right? So what I can do is usually I will go for a choke anyways. Even if he's defending his neck, I'll try to punch down here, get my arm in there, and he's gonna try to trap that. Or he's gonna try to defend the choke. And as he defends the choke, he's gonna expose an elbow, something like that, okay? What usually you'll see is we're here. He's not just gonna stay in this position. He's going to try to either grab my arm, circle, and expose, or he's gonna drift his arm down and try to push the leg. In that case, you can pull it up, but as you pull it up, you hold it here, okay? So notice, as soon as I expose that elbow, my other arm shoots through as deep as I can. I even push his face to look that way. I start walking this arm up as high as I can. I'm gonna grab his armpit or his tricep here. I'm gonna bring this hand. I'm gonna grab like his tricep here. I'm gonna push it across his face, not over his head, across his face. As soon as I get that, I'm gonna drop my head low as I can, using my neck to replace where my hand was, right? This hand, all the way, grab my own bicep, and I'm gonna squeeze. If that's not enough, then I'm gonna go to tripod position and put all my weight straight down, all right? Do the other side. Here, I got my grapevine, he exposes an elbow for me, I walk it up. As soon as I get there, I thread this through. Coach, what if his head's really heavy? Then help pick it up and throw it through, all right? Grab his armpit or his tricep, two-hand it, push it across his face, not over his head. Across his face, drop your head here, low, but it doesn't have to be all the way to the ground, right? Grab your own bicep and squeeze your other bicep, this one over here. Squeeze that down, get the tap. If it's not enough, remember